Hello guys, today we will be making a tic-tac-toe for beginners using JavaScript, HTML, CSS. If you just started learning JavaScript, it will help you make concepts clear. In this tutorial you will learn how to handle event and do DOM manipulations. So first we will create our main index.html file, and here we can use emit for the placeholder HTML. We will give the title tic tac toe, and we'll create first div and give the ID game board. It will be our game board, and in it we will have 9 buttons that we can click. So to write 9 elements we will use emit, and the ID will be button times 9 enter. So what it does, it gives us 9 buttons with ID like button 1, button 2 and button 3. These buttons are empty, nothing in them. So, and you should install a live server extension by Ritvik Day, real-time collaborative development. Not this one, like this, launch a development server, reload for static dynamic pages. So what we do is right click on the HTML file and click open with live server, and you will see that our live server has started on port 5500. You can see our buttons here. These are all squished because they don't have any content. If say hello in button 2, you will see the button. So there's no text, that's why they are looking so small. We save, and now let's add our styles.css. So that will be our styles.css, and we will link that here. So here is the address, like if you type slash you will see the file name, and just select that. We have linked the style sheet. To check that, let's say body background color red. So we see our style are linked, it's working. We can delete this, and now let's make our game board styles. So we have buttons. So to select game board we have to type hashtag. Hashtag means the ID attribute. Game board and game board, then button. It will select all the buttons inside the game board div ID. So we set the height and the width 32 pixels of every button. Now we have these, but we want 3 by 3 row column. So what we can do is we can wrap them in another div. We can do is T it should be here. Okay, now we can see that these 3 are in their line and others are here. So why is that? We can inspect from Dev Tools by right clicking and inspect. So what we see is that we have P elements in these three. So P takes the whole width of the window, so there is no more space, and this goes down. That's the reason. So we also wrap these buttons, these 6 buttons. This now it's 3 by 3. Now we have a bit of space, that's because the margin. Let's see why there is space. So we can see in our layout, if I select the P, we can see in our layout that it has margin of 16 on top and bottom. So what we can do is we can say stack game board P margin 0. We don't want the margin, so this will look like now this. That is it, and our layout is looking good now. Now let's make another div. It will show player 1 has X symbol and player 2 has O. So but these comes in the same line, so what we all so we have to add them in paragraph, so they take the whole line. So now they are in their own line, but what we want is, I want these here on the right side of the game board. How to do that is, we can say make it id of game info we can say display line block. No, it doesn't. Okay, so we have to use the flags on the parent of these. So this and this has the common parent body. So what we do is we say display flags. If we do display flags, it will put the items next to each other, and if you want some gap between these, we do gap 32 pixels. Now we have the gap. Okay, and we also want the notification like who has won and the game reset button. So we will have another div right here, div and we will where is this, and give the id like game winner for the winner, and button, and give the id like reset button for resetting the reset. So what you will see is that our this div is also on the right side, because the flags puts all the elements next to each other. If too many comes here, they will squish each other. What we can do is we can give these another common parent, we will call it main. So now these two has a different common parent, and instead of body we will give main display flags. Now problem sorted. Okay. Now only the logic is left. So in the end of body we type script So here we will write the script. We will have four main functions. Function make the turn, function game over, function win, and a function game reset. We will start by the make function. So what make function will do is it will take a button element and the turn whose turn it is, and what we will do is we check if the turn is even, like this, and one function handle click to handle the click. Let's start with the handle click. We'll console log handle click here. So right now it doesn't do anything. What we have to do is we have to attach this on button clicks. What we'll do is on every button we'll select the every button and add the on click event handler. So what we do is we create a function all get all game buttons. What it does is we take const buttons array and then we do is for loop let I equals to 1, I less than equals to 9 and I plus plus. So what we do is we find let button document dot get element by id button and the number, and then buttons dot push button, and last return the buttons. This is a function to get all the buttons, and there's an error. We need this here. So what we do is on click handler, we have to attach the on click on every single button. So we get all the button from this function. So what we do is get all buttons dot for each takes a function. It's like a for loop. Let's make a for loop instead. For let button of buttons. So it will go over the buttons. We don't have buttons yet, so let's define them also. equals to get all game buttons. So we have the buttons now. 4 LED buttons of buttons. Button dot add event listener. Click. We add handle click function. What handle click takes is, so takes an event and just pass it here. So we have attached the event listener over every single button. So when we click on these, you can see hand clicks is logging out. Okay, we are still recording. Button, now we have to implement. So first we have to make term, pass in button comma turn. So we will make a variable turn. We will start from 0, and after making turn we just increase it. Now let's implement the turn function. If turn is even number, that means it's the turn of second. We say button dot inner text to what inner text does, it takes an element, any element, it can be P or button, and set the inner text to this string. Else does is X. And after that we can disable the button. To disable the button, we say button dot disabled true. This will disable the button. So let's check our button. So we will get an error that we don't have a button variable here. So where we get the button on which we click. So we know we have an event. Event has so dot load we event dot target. So we have a property target on event object. If I click on this, you see we have a button. If I hover over this, it's the button I clicked on. If I click on this and hover over this, you see it's this button. So now we have our button variable, and it is let button equals to dot target. To be more clear, let's rename this to event, and we have the turn. So you can check our mode now. It's working. There's some issue with the styling. The boxes are going up and down. This is because of the CSS, not JavaScript. We'll handle it later. Now after making the turn, we have to check that has someone won, like this time. So we can do that by calling the win function. What it will do is it will return a boolean as won that we can check later. So we check if has won, we console.log game over and turn has won. So what turn is, it's the number whose turn it is right now. So first let's implement this win function. For the win logic, I will copy paste the logic the logic from the working example. So here is the working example, and here win. So we have a variable button id. Let's make it camel case. Have button id that is 1 because our id starts from the 1, not 0. So I have 1 here, and we have a 2D array of array. So we loop over. First we have the loop for the rows, then for the columns, and we get the button, and we get it by the button plus id, and pushes it inner text into the board. After that we loop over again, and we check is the row values are same, and if it is, we just returns true. And we also have the logic for the diagonal. If none of these satisfy, we just returns false, that no one has won. That's our won function. Let's check it. We see game over, 4 has won. 4 is showing because we are increasing the term. So we can make a variable let player equals to, let's say player name, turn modulo of 2 plus 1. So we will modulo of 2, and we just increase it by 1. We can see it's still player 4, so we have to use here player name. Let's check again. Here one has won. It's a bit wrong. You have to see X. Now it's right. Yes, O is player 2 and player 2 has won. We can also see player in the message here, game over, player, then the player number has won. Our has won function now working. Now after the has won, we have to disable all the buttons, so we cannot click after that and do this funky stuff. So after the won, we have to call the game over. Game over function. Let's implement the game over function. What it does, it takes all the buttons, get all buttons, and loops over them. Okay, we already have all the buttons right here. Let's just take to the top here, and this one here, and let's loop over them. For let button of buttons, and for each button we want to disable, so we say disabled equals to true, have disabled, and we want to show in the in our game winner, that which player has won. Game over. Take this, and we already have a message here, so we just copy it and we say game over dot inner text equals to this. So after game over, we should see, no, game over is not game winner. Okay, it's the game winner. Game winner dot inner text say this game over, player 1 has won. Now we want to make reset function work. Go on. So what we have to do is, for each button we have to clear their value, inner text value, or text to be empty, and if they are disabled we have to undisable them. So save and clear the game winner text. Now let's check our tic-tac-toe. Now it's showing player 1 has won. If I click on reset, okay, we don't have attached this callback, so let's attach it here. So reset button dot add event listener, click. We don't need the event game set. So let's do it again. Okay, it's working. Our game reset is also working now. Now last one thing is that we are playing the game, we don't want the reset to be visible yet. So what we will do is, by default we will make button hidden. To do that we can use the styles. What style do is display none. What display does is, it hides the button. You see it's there, but it is not displaying. It has zero height. It doesn't even show up in the DOM. So display none removes element this reset button initially gets removed by CSS home because of display none. Okay, so by default it is hidden, so we have to make, when the game is over we have to make it visible. So we reset button dot style dot display inline block. So by default the button is inline block, but we made it none, so we are resetting it to inline block. And after clicking the reset button we want it to again disappear. So we make reset button dot style dot display none. So we have made it hidden again. So let's check it. Refresh with our button and I click reset, it will disappear. Yes, it disappears. So this is how is the tic-tac-toe game and this fill icon. Our tic-tac-toe game. So one thing we can do is, instead of using here, let's first make it a variable message and paste it here. Message. So instead of this plus and everything, we can use new feature of JavaScript, template literals. So to do that, let's first remove this. So this is the string and it will be printed as is. So we have to tell that player name is a variable. So to do that, we will wrap it in curly braces with a dollar, and instead of double quotes we will use backticks. So you see that its color changed and it will put the value of player name here. So this has less plus and quotes, looks great. That's the one thing I wanted to show. And let's check our game. Now it's working, but there is some space here, here, here and here. So what we do is we make it display flex. So what it does, display flex, it puts all the buttons in single line. Okay, is there something? So it isn't in a p tag, so let's wrap it in p also and form it a bit better. Now looks a bit cleaner. Yes, now it's good. One more thing we can do is we can center our board and the stats on the rightmost. So to do that, we want our game board to take the full width except this and leave a space for this element. So we are already using flex. Flex actually means flexible. Flexible, I don't know how to spell. Yeah, flexible. It is flexible. So we say that game board is flexible. So we say flexible 1. So it will take the whole space, and we want all the elements in game board to be centered. So we make it a display flex and save. It makes all the elements in single row. So we change the direction of the flow. Say direction column. so they get back into the columns instead of rows. And now we want these to be in center, so we have to align items to the center. We save it, we got these in mid. We can also do the same for the stats. We say stat game panel id is to game panel, say display flex, and the flex direction we want is column. By default the flex direction is row, so that everything flows in the row, but we want it to be column. And let's align items to the center. It's not working. Game panel, okay, the name, yes, it's in the center. You can also give some space here and here to the game board. We give a margin 32 pixel top and bottom and 0 on the left and right. So we got some. Instead of this, let's give it to the main, so our stat also get this some space. 32 is very low. 64. Yes, now it's good. We can also give space on the right hand side, so do that. Let's give margin right, also 64 pixels. So we got the 64 pixels on the right hand side. So let's check how this will look on the mobile. This is how it will look on the mobile. Our game board is flexible, so it is taking the width that is available for it. So this is our game. Tic-tac-toe. We can give it a title. Oh my god. Let's give it a title. Tic-tac-toe. Make it in the center. So text. So we don't need display flex to center this. Why? Because we have another thing for the text align, that is center. And the text align only works for the element who has the full width. Like this has a full width 1200 something, but button has 32, so that center doesn't do anything on it.
It's in the front of my mind as I fall apart. You
The
began
last
to
thing,
cry.
the font is very
Tears
ugly.
are making you
Change the
blind.
font.
The future's far away.
To change the
but
font,
I will
this is
stay.
font.
I will stay.
Font.
Just take a leap of faith. We'll find a way for you.
So this is the default for the
Can't look back
every
and run from what I feel inside. There's no more time to hide.
OS. Like for
Cause
the Windows it's Serif, Apple
feel
system
again.
and
feel
iOS,
again. Oh,
and we
now
want to explore. These are the Google fonts for the Chromebook OS.
We're bringing this back to
And
life.
OpenSense I think is for Android. It looks a bit better.
I feel it again. I feel it again. I feel it again. We're bringing this back to life.
So thanks for the watching, and comment down below on which project you guys guys want next tutorial on. And thanks for watching. Like, share with your friends who are just learning JavaScript.